20.
Great job. The last one was 20. They wanted you to know that square and square root get rid of each other. All right, once again, today is Wednesday, February the 10th, 2021, 8G8. Somebody read that to us.
I can find the distance between 2 points using the Pythagorean theorem with 65% mastery.
Good job, Lathan. Monday and Tuesday, we've been talking about the Pythagorean theorem. Somebody tell us one thing we have been saying about the Pythagorean theorem for these past 2 days.
A squared plus B squared equals C squared.
Good job, Angelo. I said you didn't learn nothing else. You learned A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So today we're going to use that to show how we can find the distance between points on a coordinate plane by using A squared, B squared, and C squared. All right, your practice is in its normal position. Case in point, I'm looking at number one. Number one asks, what is the distance between 2, 3, and 5, 7 in the coordinate plane? Remember I said we're going to be using the Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So what they did with the 2 points, you notice that they made a triangle with the 2 points. So that's what we're going to have to do, make a triangle with the 2 points. After we make that triangle, we then still need both of our legs, the units for our legs. So looking at the bottom, we have 3 units. Going up and down, we have 4 units. So I know 3 and 4 would be my A and my B. So then, of course, I'm going to substitute into that equation. So that would be 3 squared plus 4 squared would be equal to C squared. Should have learned yesterday that 3 and 4, I'm going to give us one thing to see. So 3 squared and 4 squared, 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16, 9 plus 16 is 25. So then 25 is equal to C squared. How do we say we would then get rid of that square?
Do the square root.
Great job. So then we would take the square root of 25 to tell us C, and the square root of 25 is what pattern?
5.
This is one of your common Pythagorean theorems. A triangle with 3, 4, and 5. I know we've had a problem with 3, 4, and 5 on Monday as well as Tuesday. Any questions about what we're doing?
Hold on, Miss Kitchens. I'm done.
I take it no one have any questions about it, so that means we can make this happen. All right, looking at number 2. What does it tell us?
What is the difference between the points?
What points?
-7 and 3 and 4 and -5.
All right. So before we can even tell the distance, what do we need to do?
Draw a graph.
Draw a graph.
Good job. I'm going to use a coordinate plane. You should have one in your folder in Schoology. I got one somewhere too. All right, so we said our first point was at -7, 3. And that next point was at 4, -5. All right. So after we get our 2 points, what did I tell us that we need to make?
A triangle.
Good job. So we have our 2 points. So we're going to make a triangle with those 2 points, meaning we're just going to go over and down to where they meet it. And this is the piece we're looking for, the distance. So now that we have made that triangle, what do we need to get?
A and B.
Good job. A and B or our legs. We're going to call this one A. We're going to call the other one B. So if you can see, someone tell us how many units we have for A.
10.
All right. How many units do we have for B?
8.
All right, so now that we have our 2 values for A and B, now what are we going to do?
Put it in the equation.
What equation?
A squared plus B squared equals C squared.
Thank you, sir. All right, we said A was 10, so we have 10 squared plus 8 squared will be equal to C squared. What is 10 squared?
100.
8 squared.
64. $164.
Oh, okay, I was wondering what we waiting on. So now how do we get C by itself?
Square root.
All right, so then the square root of 164.
Well, it's 12.8 sub 13.
12.8 over 13. Any questions about how we drew that triangle, how we found the values of A and B, and how we substituted into that equation? Any questions on it? All right, anyone still need something on this screen before I move it? All right, so going back. So which of these will be our values, A, B, C, or D?
A.
A.
No, what do we say our square root was? What did we take the square root of? We took the square root of 13?
No.
What did we take the square root of?
164.
164, and they don't even have it listed. So make sure we understand 13 and square root of 13 is not the same answer. So make sure we know that. And I'll go back and correct that one, but no, they don't have the square root of 164 on there. Any questions on it? Square root is not the same as saying 13. All right, someone read this to us.
Parallelogram PQRS is shown on the coordinate plane. What is the perimeter of the parallelogram? PQRS. Show your work.
Now, how can we find this perimeter? What do you see? What do you recognize? What do I already know the value of?
The points,
What points?
PQRS.
Now they said perimeter. How do I find perimeter?
And the sides.
Okay, so that's what I'm asking you. Do we know any of our side links currently?
The top and the bottom.
What do we know that to be, India?
8.
All right, so we got 8 and we have 8. How can we find the length of this diagonal? All right, what do we do to find the distance between the 2 points on the other question? Made a what?
Triangle.
Yeah, so we're gonna make a triangle with this side first, just so we can get this length. So if we make this a triangle, what would be our A and what would be our B?
Six will be our A.
Check that, Angelo. Make sure you only count the units.
5.
All right, what would be our B?
$12.
So we have that A and B, so that'll be 5 squared plus 12 squared. What is 5 squared?
25.
12 squared.
144.
Right,
169.
69 square root.
13.
And if this side is 13, what can I say about that other diagonal?
It's 13.
Good job. Based on what we know about parallelograms, they will be the same. So now that we have all of our values, how can we now find their perimeter?
Add all the sides.
All right, add them all up. I heard that one up there saying something.
42.
You say 42? Any questions about it? Any questions about it? Anyone still need anything? All right, somebody read number 4 to us.
Which expression could be used to find the distance between -2 and A and 7 and 13 on the coordinate plane? Choose all to apply.
Good job, Karen. Now, naturally, we would graph this on the coordinate plane. I'm going to show you another way you can find the length of your A and your B. So looking at a triangle, would my A or my B be x-axis or the y-axis?
A to X.
And so that means B would be the y-axis. So that means those are the points we would look at to determine A as well as to determine that B. So looking at A, we said that would be our x coordinates. What are our 2 x coordinates?
-2 and 7.
Okay.
And we'll have to come back later.
my hypothesis about that. So our x coordinates are -2 and 7. So if I was to place -2 and 7 on a line, and I'm trying to find the distance between -2 and 7, how many units would be in between -2 and 7?
9.
9.
Great job, that's 9. That takes us back to 6th grade with knowing that that's 7 units, and this will be 2 units. So we know that 80 needs to be 9. All right, and then of course we would do the same with those y coordinates. So we have 8 and 13. If I was to put 8 and 13 on a number line, what would be the distance between them? They're on the same side, so that means subtract.
5.
Great job. So that means B would be 5. Now, based on us finding A and B, now we can use the process of elimination. We already know we need 9, we need 5. So have a look at those answer choices and see which ones will give us what we need.
C.
All right, C, 7 minus 2 will be 5. 13 minus 8 is 5 as well. We need 9, we need 5.
E.
E. 7 plus 2 is the 9. 13 minus 8 is the 5. All right, do you see any others? All right, while you thinking, a square has how many answers? If I was to take the square root of something, how many answers would it have? Square root of 16 is known to be what?
4.
4.
What else can I multiply by itself to get 16? 4 squared, any other will give me 16? What's -4 squared? -4 times -4.
16.
Okay, so a square got how many answers? Oh, and -4 is how many answers?
2.
Oh, okay, so a square has 2 answers. So although we have 9 and we have 5, what other values can I square and I still get the same answer? All right, we said 4 and -4 squared would be the same. So 9 and what else squared would be the same? What's 9 squared?
81.
What else would give me 81 if I squared it? Okay, they in the chat box now, -9. So that means 5 can also have what value?
-5.
Great job. So now that we've done figured out those other possible answers, what else would work? Why y'all gotta learn numbers? You should look at -2 and -7 and automatically know this. Yeah, so I'm gonna show you how to get up looking at it. Like you said, B, -2 minus 8 is -10. That ain't gonna work. A will be the correct answer. -2 and -7 is -9. 8 minus 13 is -5. A and E. Any questions about it? Anyone still need anything? All right, somebody read the next one to us.
The following points are plotted on the coordinate plane. Consider the distance between the origin and each point. Determine whether each point is less than 15 minutes, greater than 15 units, or exactly 15 units from the origin. Write the letter of each point in the correct column in the table.
Good job, thank you, ma'am. All right, somebody go ahead and write these coordinates down somewhere because I'm gonna move to my coordinate plane. All right, so we'll look at A first. A was at 11, negative 6. I'm gonna graph it. 11, negative 6. We're trying to see how far it is from the origin. So that's my diagonal. It's a little crooked. What else will I need to find in order to tell the distance between A and origin? Distance between points. Using the Pythagorean theorem. What do we need in order to use the Pythagorean theorem?
B.
How can we find A and B? Draw what?
Draw a triangle.
Triangle.
Okay, thank you, India. Y'all be sitting up acting like you scared to say something. Remember, y'all gotta learn this, not me. All right, so we made our triangle. What will be our lengths of A and B?
A is 11.
B?
B is 6.
All right, now if you would have looked at the point of A was at negative 11, 6. So that goes back to what I said earlier. Not negative, it was backwards. 11 and negative 6. So 11 would be that X and 6 would be that Y. So that would be our A and B because we're trying to get to the origin. So 6 squared plus 11 squared will give us what? So y'all should know your squares. You should know 6 times 6. You should know 11 times 11 before.
36 and 132. Yeah.
No reason why we gotta wait on multiplication fast. Did you say 132? We don't know 11 times 11.
22? Oh, wait, sorry. 121.
Oh, okay. See, multiplication fast is stuff we're supposed to learn before now. 121 plus 36.
157.
Alright, so then the square root of 157.
13
13 even?
was 12.5.
Yes. Try not to round up unless they just tell us to. And usually, if we don't get a whole number, they will usually leave it as that square root. So this gave us 12.52. So which column would it fall in?
Less than 15 units.
Good job, Mariah. All right, looking at B. We're still going from the origin. They gave us -5 and 15. So what's our distance on our X and our Y? All right, so if I went to -5, 15, how far did I move on my X-axis? How far did I move on my Y-axis from the origin? We just noted that we're looking at A. If the other point is 0, 0, how far is 0 to -5? How far is 0 to 15? So what's our A and B for point B? All right, somebody got 5 points to the left, so there's 5. So what'll be our B?
15. 15.
Plus 15 squared. We should know 5 squared on top of our head. All right, and then add that together, LaShayla. All right, so then the square root of 250 is equal to C.
$15.81.
So what column should it go in?
Greater than 15 units.
All right, looking at C. What would be our X and our Y to give us that A and B? Great job. Take the absolute value, so that will give us 12 squared plus 9 squared.
$144 plus 81. $225.
All right, then find the square root of 225.
Exactly 15.
All right, looking at D. What will be our X and our Y to give us our A and our B? All right, so now there's 10 squared and then 4 squared. All right, so then the square root of 116. All right, so put that in the shape. I'm looking at E. What will be our A and our B for our X and our Y? All right, so we got 8 squared plus 14 squared equals 2c squared.
$64.
196.
Good job. All right, add it together.
$260.
All right, so then the square root of 260.
16.1.
So where are we gonna put it?
Greater than 15 units.
Any questions about it? Anyone still need anything? All right, somebody read this to us.
What is the distance between the points -5 and -3 and -2 and 4?
All right, they gave us a coordinate plane on this one. So what can I do with those points in this coordinate plane? Make a what?
Triangle.
Oh, okay. Remember, those are some things I shouldn't have to tell you to do. All right, so now that we have made that triangle, what would be our A and what would be our B? All right, you can't look at the triangle, look at your X's, find the distance between them, and then look at your Y's, find the distance between them. All right, LaShayla gave us B to be 7. Check that, Omar. Don't start counting and count the blocks, not the lines. Yes. All right, so now we have our A squared and our B squared. So 3 squared plus 7 squared.
$9 plus 49.
All right, go ahead and add it together.
$58.
All right, so now what do we need to do?
Square root.
All right, go ahead and square it. I think that was you, Natalie.
7.6.
We'll say it's about 7.6 units. Try your best not to cut off those decimals. At least give it 1 or 2, or just leave it as the square root if it's not a whole number. But try not to cut it off. Try not to round, especially if they don't tell us to. Any questions about it? Anyone still need anything? We will return to hybrid model on tomorrow, meaning those BB students, we'll be seeing you on campus. The rest of you for AA and virtual, make sure you are logging into your classes at the designated times. You will receive an updated list of your schedules as well as your class times, just to make sure that we are all on the same accord. Make sure you take care of your business, get your work in so we can get your grades in, and have a great Wednesday.